In today's episode, we're going to be talking about... Which topic shall we talk about?
You're listening to
Jom Sembang, Malaysia.
I tell you, when it comes to Juwita, I've never met someone as indecisive as you.
Oh no.
As our friendship was developing, I was like, seriously, this girl... It's not like she cannot decide. I find that it's just that not even the fact that you have to think through a lot of factors or whatever. It's the fact that you keep thinking of the consequences and you can't decide which consequences is the best. But the thing is, there's no good consequences. Then she go all around. And if you have been listening to the past 100 episodes, right, you kind of understand what I mean. But if you have not listened to it, I'm talking about indecisiveness, even when it comes to like, you drive to Tea Life and you go like, which drink should I drink? Can take forever.
Actually, Tea Life, no, because I only drink one thing there.
Yeah, but before you reach that one thing, I'm sure you have.
Okay, so let me give you an example of my ultimate indecisiveness. What to eat.
It's a 3 meals a day stress.
It is a...
Wait. A lot of people also stress about what to eat.
Okay.
But their stress is like a 5-minute stress. What to eat lah? Okay lah, fried rice lah, chicken rice lah. But when Juwita said what to eat stress lah, it's totally different level one.
Okay, there could be a few factors about why I am indecisive about it lah. First one is where to go.
Okay.
Then you already decide where to go. Then what to eat at the way you go to. But I think the most, for me lah, it's really trying to figure out what will be the best bang for my buck, number one, and what will be the best bang for the calorie intake, number two. So, right, I actually start to think, okay, let's go out for this true story, right? Just happened. Lunch. We went somewhere. What do you want to order? Then my brain goes to, what are we having for dinner? You know why?
Because you don't want to eat the same thing
Correct.
or similar thing
like,
for lunch.
Are we going to have rice? And this is especially when it's beyond my control. So Chinese New Year, you're not with your normal, right? You're with people and other people are deciding what you're going to eat. So what are we going to eat for dinner? Because if it's going to be rice, then now I want to have something light. Something that's not so heavy. And then, right, if I don't know what's going for dinner, my brain cannot function for. So you say consequence. So that's one. Then the other thing is, which one is nicer? Which one would I actually like?
We have very different way of deciding what to eat. Mine is more of like, okay, I do think about my pockets, but it's more of like, okay, today I'm going economical or should treat myself. Okay? Then from there, if it's economical, say, okay. If it's a new place, okay, what's the things on the menu that I normally eat? I'll try that first.
Say again? What?
Let's say it's a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And I normally eat more pan mee than curry noodle. Then I will just go for the pan mee first. Unless someone tell me, oh, this curry mee went viral and the pan mee is normal, then I might, okay, let me decide if I feel like eating santan or not. And that's it. And then there is no regret of like, for example, if I order and then the pan mee sucks, right?
Yeah.
I don't go and like, why I did order this one, blah, 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 blah. I will just go, next round, just take the curry noodle.
Okay, so I'm going to expound on the pan mee.
Okay.
So I can get as bad as, just for everybody to know. I go to a place, the pan mee looks good. And then I'm thinking, but then I always eat pan mee at my kopitiam, which I go to every 2-3 times a week. Then if I eat pan mee here, tomorrow morning I'm likely to have pan mee again. So therefore I shouldn't have pan mee, right? But I've gotten better lah. Now I'm like, it's different ma.
Wow.
It's different.
You think about all your future meals, not just dinner. Must be tomorrow breakfast.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just going like, I can't even solve today's meal and she's thinking about tomorrow's
So
meal.
it becomes complicated because the first thing you see is the pan mee. Actually, I would like to eat that. But then I should probably hold it because for tomorrow. Then I look at other things, but I don't feel like wanton mee. But I don't feel like this. Nasi lemak will be too much. Therein lies the problem lah. But it almost feels like maybe I got not enough problems in life. So I have to make this a problem.
So my brother always have this issue.
Oh?
If you go to a coffee shop, like what do you eat? He used to walk around the coffee shop. We all order, right? Then he come back, nothing order. It's because number one, he doesn't read ma. Like he's not very good with like looking at every shop got what. Yeah. He will just see the pictures. Yeah. So there are shops that no pictures, then skip or whatever. So that itself limits some options. And the second thing, sometimes he look at picture, he don't know what is it. Like the comprehension of like, you look at a prawn noodle photo, right? We know. Yeah. His is like a bowl of don't know what. So it complicates things. So he will come back. Now his default is, he goes everywhere. If he doesn't find something that points out or jumps at, or sometimes he doesn't even go walk. There's our chicken rice. I said,
easier lah.
4 times a week chicken rice.
Yeah,
5
actually
times
a few
chicken
people
rice.
do that. Yeah.
It's like no thinking. And then she said, it won't fail me one. How bad can chicken rice be? Okay? So that is how he copes, which is the most basic level. Then you have me, then you have you lah. So we
Maybe I should do the
putting it
chicken
at
rice
different
thing.
level. Yeah. What's wrong with eating pan mee every day?
Yeah, actually.
Different pan mee. What?
Correct.
You can order thin one today, tomorrow thick one the next day, a meat
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
meat one.
exactly.
Like, you know, so yeah, so that's why I said she's the most indecisive person I've ever met, because we can go for food in front of food court. And I'm like, oh, it's either A, B, or C. Yeah, which one lesser people? Okay, let's go. And then after I order, sit down, take my food, she said, what you order? I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's become a whole lagging format where I start eating, she order. I finish eating, she start eating.
Somehow I eat slower.
Then it's like, oh.
Oh, you know what makes it even worse?
What?
When I have to decide for my mother also. So I walk one round and I go like, okay, what do you want to eat? Then she asks, what do you want to eat? I'm like, why do you care what I want to eat? Because I want to order yours first, get it done with, and then order my food. So yeah, sometimes eating can be quite traumatic.
Yeah, very,
if you come out with me. But that's one thing, okay? One thing about what I want. The other thing about me that makes me indecisive is I tend to mirror emotions. I think that I mirror emotions. So earlier in the episode, I was saying about how if you call me out and then I say I don't want, I will feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes if we are trying to decide on something, right, and I feel I don't mind going with what you want to have or whoever it is lah, who is deciding. And then if they're like, I can't really tell what is their preference. And then I get stuck because, I don't know, does this make sense? Like,
I used to have a little bit of that. But lately, I feel that if you cannot tell me what you want,
that means
you bear your own consequences. Let's order big breakfast and share. You know, if there's a cafe menu, sometimes you share, right? Then you have poached egg, whatever. And then you're still deciding, then forget about it. I decide, you just eat. Don't like, I will just say sorry. Another time, another dish. Last time is no. Last time, if I ordered and they don't like, and I will feel bad. Then do you need other food? Like, you know, do you need to like... Now it's like, hello lah. I also bearing the same consequences. So why am I feeling sorry for you and I'm not feeling sorry for myself?
True.
But yeah, those are some things to look out for. But the other thing that I want to ask you, maybe after break, not really ask you. Okay lah, ask you lah. Probably ask you. Have you heard of the word abolomania?
Today's episode is brought to you by Joy Luck Penang. Joy Luck, also known as Joy 6, is a very unique place to hang out. They welcome you to bring your favorite food and order beverages from them, or simply enjoy their cafe menu, especially the signature nasi ulam. So that way, best thing about this place is you can bring your pets to chill out with you. So if you're in Penang, remember to check out Joy Luck in Tanjung Bunga.
So yeah. Welcome back, Ju. I give you some break time, right? So that you can think about this word. Abolomania, not abolonisa.
What? How to spell?
Not abolonisa. Okay,
Abolo,
it's
abolo.
ABOULOMANIA.
Ebola. Okay. What in the world does it mean?
When I came across this word, I thought, wow, such thing exists.
Okay.
It's actually a mental disorder that shows signs of pathological indecisiveness, okay? So people with this disorder are very indecisive to the point where it can become an obsession or it affects your life.
Define pathological.
Like mentally incapable of deciding.
Okay.
Not like not the non-mentally kind. Not mentally kind. A little bit more of a mental play kind
disposition.
of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. So I thought, I got such thing.
Abolomania. Okay.
Yeah. So today, no judgment. I just want to ask you.
Okay.
Looking back at yourself,
yeah.
Let's reflect back and see whether it's your indecisiveness is something that's actually very serious.
It could be something that's not my fault, or if it's a mental condition, then it's actually not my fault.
You see this girl try to escape. It's not me, Gina. It's just an illness.
It's a mental condition. Okay, go for it.
So yeah.
I'm going to try to say yes on all the questions.
But I don't know, from the first part of this episode and you talking about food itself, I actually didn't thought that we would talk so much about that food thing. But it's a good basis to show that if you are really struggling to decide on a very simple day-to-day
Very simple.
basis
Okay, yeah.
decision,
Yeah.
then my question is, don't you feel tired of it?
If I want to order food, of the food that I
Of
want.
constantly being indecisive 3 times a day minimum because of 3 meals?
Mm.
And why do you think, besides, let's say, people order for your mom is different thing lah. Okay, there's
That
a
one I feel
factor,
tired.
right?
Yeah.
But if it's for yourself and for your own, right? Why do you think that it's so hard to decide?
No lah, I think it's like, just now, the one that I said just now, right? If I'm in a non-familiar place,
Okay.
is when I get indecisive. So, for example, when I'm in my regular kopitiam, I already know I've already limited my options to what I like that is available there. So it could be A, B, or C.
Okay.
If I go to a certain fast food joint, there's only one.
Okay.
The regular places, so like my Sunday morning joint, I know. Like drinks now, I absolutely know what I want. It's just a single shot latte. And when I try to be not boring, I usually regret. So go back to my single shot latte.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough.
I think it becomes complicated when I get excited lor. So it's a new menu. And then
Don't
I'm
bring her
like,
cafe hopping. She'll be so stressed.
will I actually like this? Yeah, so it's a new thing. I think it's when I'm trying to make the most of it and don't make a mistake. That is when I become indecisive. So if I go to a new place, I study the menu one. I actually read everything. And then I shortlist to maybe 3.
Okay, why would you read everything?
Because I don't want to miss out. FOMO.
FOMO. Okay, that's one good reason. She don't want to FOMO.
Yeah.
The second
Correct.
reason?
After order already, don't like, did I say that too fast? Afterwards, I scared, order already, then I don't like.
Okay.
Then I wasted that meal already and then I waste the money on it.
So it's
then
really
like,
that fear of the consequences lah.
Mm,
In a way lah.
Kinda
But
lah.
does it mean that a meal really determine
a meal
the
is important to me.
mood? Yeah. So I say it must be very important for you to think that. But so for me, right, if I tried something and it's really bad,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, so bad, then I will just drive to the nearest Family Mart and get a green tea ice cream and say, okay, redeem, that's it. Forget about the experience.
Okay, wait, chop. Okay, so there have been times, so the pan mee guy in that regular kopitiam is very inconsistent. You know, right? I've texted you before to say like, today was so good. And then tomorrow is like, what? Right? The texture is wrong. The taste is wrong. Like, yeah. And I found that I can get very upset. It spoiled my mood, right? And therefore, that is why, no, I just don't order from him lah. Okay. So it does spoil my mood, but I have found that I can actually eat halfway and actually I can let it go on if I choose to let it go. Like, just eat it, finish it, and then next lah.
She's quite good at it. If I eat something is horrible, I won't finish it. Because I finish it, I'll beat myself up harder. If I don't finish it, I say, okay, let's get something dessert to just clean my palate, right? But if I force myself to finish it, then I feel bad. It's horrible and now I'm bloated because of it. I'm full and then I cannot take anything else. Then I really beat myself up more.
Okay, because the other thing I was thinking about was you have actually texted before to say, oh, I ordered this, it was horrible. Now my whole mood is spoiled and I cannot work for the rest of the day. So actually, it affects you also, ma.
Yeah, but then if I go and just get my favorite ice cream, I'm done.
Oh.
I recover very fast. But if I'm doing that at home or something, that hello, there's no favorite ice cream, I have to redeem myself.
I see.
And also because I eat 2 meals a day. Sometimes 1.5 meal. So if your main meal for me lah, there's a main meal and just a small secondary meal.
Yeah.
If my main meal is ruined, it's quite a day ruined thing.
But similar lah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but it's also, how to say I don't beat myself too hard over it. I will just say, okay, today bad day, just sit down there, lie down, do nothing, just eat.
But to me, that is quite drastic, lor.
Yeah, so
the consequence for me, if I had a bad meal, it would probably last for 1-2 hours. But it spoils your entire day. So which one is worse?
I don't know, man. I don't want to stress 3 days, 3 times a day to like do that.
Okay,
but let's say if you go into something decision making that's a little bit more
crucial,
bigger
decision. Yeah.
You know, some of my friends have a hard time deciding on their life partners. Okay, but
I never decided, that's why.
or
Single
like
still.
in your case, or rather in other people starting a new business. People always say I want to own a business and they never did.
Yeah.
Okay, or in like my case, looking for properties to buy. I find looking for properties to buy, people say it's a big decision. You should think about it, right? But I find that because I'm not desperate, I don't have an urgency to get it now, whatever is it, you know. That when the house come by and I say, oh, got these 3 things I don't like. Okay, next. Or these 2 things I don't like, next. But actually, in retrospect, I look back at the whole 2 years I actively looking for a property to buy.
Yeah.
It's not too bad actually. Like I should have made that decision because I'm not in a rush. I'm not urgent. I have not really high standard, but I'm just lazy lah. I just make that point. This fella's house need to repair window. Okay, next. But I look back the last, like recently I've been looking back, I say, it's just a window lah. You should have just buy it and just repair it. Then you have a house, what? Then you wouldn't be in this stupid journey and still looking at another 100 houses to get the king. So for me, people said don't make rush decision on a big item. But sometimes I think that we put the decision on hold too long because it's a big item. That you miss out. So by the time I want to get a house, they say, okay, let's say it's 400,000. Yeah, this broken window I have to fix lah. Another 10,000, don't buy. Don't give me this one, I don't buy.
Yeah.
But 2 years later, I go to the house, it's perfect window, but it's 450,000. Why didn't you just buy the 400,000 2 years ago, replace that window at 10,000, you still save 40,000?
Maybe, right? The place was at that much higher price because it was perfect. In the sense that there's nothing to fix and therefore you can put a higher price to it. So,
yeah, but it's higher by 50,000. If I just get a 400,000, I pay extra 10,000, I repair the window, I still get the exact same unit. So I'm just saying that sometimes our indecisiveness can backfire on us. Because we overthink or there's no rush or something. And I think, right, making decisions when it comes to indecisiveness, right, you must have a deadline. Unless you forever don't decide one.
I think it depends on deadline, as in, let's say you need to buy a house before you reach a certain age.
Okay,
that could be a realistic deadline lah. But for me, when I got my unit, I wasn't as what's the word?
You decided quickly.
No. Yes and no. I wasn't as hardworking as you. I didn't actively go look out agents. I didn't actively go like, you were really looking like every other week. There's I'm going to view a house. I'm like, wow, serious? This is like seriously looking lah. For me, it was more of, that's a interesting place. Let's go check it out. Right? It was more of a gut. But I think it's also your personality makeup. So I'm a intuitive feeling perception combo.
Correct.
Yeah, combo. So it's more of how I feel about the place rather than what I think about the place.
Okay, so no wonder it doesn't work on food because you cannot feel the food before you order.
I can. Okay, never mind.
Sorry. Okay, back to the topic.
So I remember when I went to look, there was some, again, the same unit that, the same condo that I actually lived in. I saw 3 units. So the first one, like, okay lah, but no feeling. Second one, the sun was on the wrong side, or so to speak. And then the third one, suddenly I just felt, this feels right. And then I made the decision. So for me, it's a lot about, I would call it having peace about it, or feeling that it's right. And that's when I realized that peace actually has a monetary value on it, you know. It's not just, it's just something that is intangible lah. You can't live on it lah. But actually can. It's like I felt peace in that place. I felt like,
Now I'm curious how to convert this decision-making big item to your small items. No, to your small item. I mean, if you make it looks like, you know, I feel that even the vibe that you're talking about, also there's the confidence in making that decision and all that, right? But there's none of this confidence
in the food
making process. Which is like so strange because that's your day-to-day. This one is like a big one, you can calculate or whatever not. Like just now when you were talking in the first half, you can really feel that the fear, the lack of confidence, the fear of missing out. Then suddenly she's talking about my house, suddenly very clear one. Just go, see, buy. I'm like thinking, we are so opposite. Because for me, when it comes to big item, it's a step forward and it's a commitment at least the next 10, 20 years because you take a loan and all that. So it's not a...
No, but it took a lot of time also.
Like the indecisiveness for me really happens there.
No.
Compared to what am I eating for lunch?
No. For me, right, how I would analyze your house hunting journey is the right one haven't come along yet. It's just like finding a life partner.
But my
you will
question
know it when
is-
it's right.
But my question is also because, for example, you said life partner. Whatever.
Yeah.
If you decide it based on like the house, right? Like I say,
Yeah.
you miss out 2 years because of that
True.
silly overthinking or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And also because there's no deadline to the decision.
True.
A lot of people also, when they meet life partners, they go, oh, this guy is not perfect. No guy is not perfect.
Yeah.
Let me go and find as perfect as I can to match. But sometimes by the time you pursue that journey, you lose out a better deal in the
So
beginning.
then, okay lah. So I FOMO, you follow, is it? Fear of losing out. It's okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So I think some of the things that we should also discuss is how do you think you can make yourself or help yourself to be more decisive?
Go to the same place all the time.
No. I mean, eventually you get boring one. Like for
I am
example, I can really like a kind of food. Then I will go back. Maybe the first month, quite regular. After that, you can taste it even when you sleep. Then I won't go back. Like I can taste the food before I eat it because I had it so many times.
That means your food seller very consistent, like my shop.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you'll be
fair enough.
happy. The first 5 times you're happy. Wow, it's exactly how I remember it to be. Blah blah blah. Hit the point. Yes, happy. Okay.
Yeah.
Then came to like one time, because you can taste it, imagine it, and there's no slap on your face anymore. Suddenly it tastes very normal. Then you stop going lesser and lesser and lesser and lesser.
It's called the principle of diminishing returns.
So for me, it's not. For me, my solution is not going to the same thing all the time. It's only like, for example, today better don't mess up. Then I will just go to this guaranteed one.
Okay, but how often is all the time? I mean, how often?
Well, 2 to 3 times a week to your coffee shop. Sorry, I'm just.
I eat different thing lah.
So it's the first time shop 1, second time shop 3, then next week repeat lah.
Okay, what?
Oh, I cannot.
Really?
I really cannot.
Oh.
I find myself really, I will enjoy it the first 2 months. Then after that, I will become irregular customer.
Oh.
Then I will go back after a long time. Like once a while, oh yeah, I want that taste. I went back. Palm. Yeah.
Okay.
More of that. Yeah. But actually, when I was talking about methods on how to help you to be more decisive or help me to be more decisive is what kind of boundaries you put. So for example, right, I've been actively hunting for a property.
Yeah.
Then I finally decided to just put a deadline to it.
Yeah.
Because when you're not desperate, you really won't make that decision.
Very true.
Okay. And you will just say, well, yes or no, never mind, that kind of thing. It doesn't work. So for me, correct, I'm still in the yes or no property also okay. I'm happy renting where I can just call my landlord and say, hey, peti sejut rosak, replace. Aircon rosak. And I'm not, entirely keen getting a house and say, oh, refrigerator rosak, go and buy yourself.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But yet I know that my next phase of life is that. So I must set a deadline to make that decision that's not urgent.
Yeah.
So that at least there's an extra push to it. And not to say when I meet the deadline, if I still don't find it, then fine. But at least I'm actively pushing because the deadline is coming.
Yeah.
And that helps me to make a decision a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting on it too long lah.
Okay, can I tell you a story about short term, not so crucial decision one.
Okay, come.
So
that one you paka.
I was in Singapore, and usually on Saturdays, my cousin and I and a friend will go for a walk. So a walk around MacRitchie Reservoir or somewhere lah, just a hike, a walk, a 1 hour walk. And then I texted her and said, hey, I have no sports shoes. I got no sports. I got no shoes that can go for a walk.
Okay.
Then she's like, never mind lah, Friday we go and buy. I'm like, okay. So this was kind of like 2 days before I go to Singapore. Straight away already I know, why do I want to go and buy in Sing dollar, right?
When I can just bring my shoes.
Just get it here. But deadline thing, again, the opportunity is like, would I really bring myself out of the house to just go and look for shoes? I won't. Not in Malaysia anyway, number 1. Number 2 is like, there's no urgency lah, like you said. Unless it's like so weird, right? I'm going to Singapore, I need this shoe, then now I go shopping and find that shoe. It's not me lah.
Nah, I can picture it going, no shoes, then go there to walk lor.
No, it's like Saturday must walk. It's the highlight of my trip.
Okay.
So
then I'm surprised. I would have assumed that you have gone out to at least try to hunt for shoes.
Didn't. So we were like, okay, Friday. So I think the day before that we went. She's like, we go to a certain sports shop that has all the kind of sports that they have, which I again won't mention name unless they sponsor us. So we went there, and then you know what? At the back of my mind, I'm thinking, maybe the model that don't have in Malaysia one, I buy there called Babaloy lah. Because don't have my here.
Try to make her decision making a little bit easier.
So I go there, I see two sports shoes. One is walking one, one is running one. Okay. So the walking shoe, and I try both, right? I try the walking one on my right leg and the running one on my left leg, and I can feel the running one is more comfortable, slightly more expensive. Yeah, I can feel that bounce. And then I look at it, but then the walking one looks nicer. As in, I can wear it to wherever function. It's like very, very versatile and it's light and everything. And so my clincher of how I decided was, I look at there was another colour lah for the running one.
Okay.
Then I go Malaysia website. I check price. Both got slight difference. It's like one like 12 ringgit and one was like a bit more. Then I say, the Malaysia one, right, got the colour that I really want maybe in the size that I want, right? Then I'm thinking, never mind lah. Maybe I'll come back to Malaysia and then at least I can get the colour that I want. So I bought the walking one lah.
But let's say, right?
Yeah.
If you knew you needed a walking shoes and there's no Singapore trip or your cousin is not there to give you a deadline.
I wouldn't have bought it.
Exactly.
So deadline and having people there. Because they already bring you there.
Yeah, it's like a commitment.
And if I don't buy, it's a commitment. So I also realized I tend to buy when this particular cousin is here. Because I don't want to let you down also.
I drive you all the way here, come here and then nothing, you know?
I don't think could have been okay if I didn't lah. Maybe borrow somebody's shoe or wear slipper or don't go lah. Whatever lah. Maybe they also don't want to walk. Maybe because I buy shoe already, then they feel like they have to go and walk. But I don't know.
Commitment. So we have that commitment and we have a deadline. I think the other thing for me is talking out loud. Like whether you have a sounding board, which could be the third factor, or if you don't have a sounding board, at least talk aloud and don't let your options play your brain.
Correct.
Because when your options play in your brain, right, it feels like a never-ending loop one. For me, I cannot see properly if it's like this. Like I need to, even if mentally I'll say, okay, the pros is 1 pro, 2 pro, 3 pro, 2, 1 con, 2 con, 3 con. Next, okay, can I overcome this? Yeah. And then I make that decision. But sometimes for a lot of people, they need to write it down, draw it out, or talk aloud.
Okay.
They cannot just sit down there and 1 pro, 2 pro, 3 pro. Tomorrow wake up, repeat 1 pro. Because your brain tends to process things repetitively. If it's not
and it goes around
exported.
In circles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like doing Excel sheet, then you export to PDF. You don't export to PDF, then it keeps, that kind of thing. So I think the other way to really become a little bit more decisive is say it out loud.
Okay.
Spell it out. Like, do I need a shoe? Yes, no. Play the
arrow
mind back.
If yes, then this. If no, then this.
Do I get it in Malaysia or Singapore? 5 pros here, 5 pros here, then move on. I think that is a very good way to make decision, whether it's big or small. Like even if your pan mee, like at least you got 10 menu, noodles or rice, 5. Okay, now noodles got this one, like, you break it down. But if you're walking at the food court and you're not asking your friend, talking loud, then you're walking 10 times and then afterward you come back, then your friend finish eating, then you say, I'm still deciding rice or noodle then.
So actually I do that one lah. Even when I go check the Malaysia price, there's a graph that's happening in my head. You can't see it.
Correct.
So that's why maybe I'm processing, but maybe I'm processing too many things.
But it's good to say it out loud.
Yes.
Or talk to someone about it. Then the person say, hey, your graph is repetitive lah. What are you doing? To just wake you up about it lah.
So I was like, if I maybe I go back to Malaysia, get the teal one, that colour very nice. And then nobody laughed at me for saying that. But decide lor.
Nobody. Gina will just say it will take another year before she gets it in Malaysia because she will leave the house to get it.
Correct. By the time I want to get it might be out of stock also. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Got new shoe coming up, ma.
But yes, I have to say that I still admire how, I don't think I'll be able to survive being indecisive. It's very tiring. It's like sometimes just having to make a decision on a property itself can be tiring. I cannot imagine having to decide or having that indecisive thing happening regularly. It's very mentally absorbing. So what Gina does is just decide on it and leave the consequences next.
Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by 2 Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff. Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Juwita Suwito and Gina Yoong. Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105. Remember to click like and subscribe for a brand new episode next week.